Rock and Roll Geek Show 963.
Are you ready to rock?
This is the story of my rock and roll butler.
This is it. The coolest rock podcast online. From San Francisco, where all the geeks rock and rock lives on. This is your Rock and Roll Geek Show with Michael Butler.
Welcome to the Rock and Roll Geek Show. My name's Michael Butler. Thanks a lot for joining me. I really appreciate it. Today is Wednesday, November 13th, 2019. It's 6:53 p.m. when I'm recording this episode. I want to start off, before we play any music or anything, with a little prayer for my good friend Joe Klein, the guy who just did that intro you just heard. That's one of his older intros. This is another one that he did.
Still rocking after all
You know that one. Well, today he's going in for cancer surgery to get a tumor removed out of somewhere in his body. And we're going to find out if my good friend Joe Klein is going to live through this shit. And I would like everybody to please join me in a little prayer. God, or whoever you pray to, my good friend Joe Klein, radio announcer from long ago, former radio host named John McAllister, recorder of the Rock and Roll Geek Show, long-time intro like this one here.
Still rocking after all.
God, please let my friend Joe Klein make it through this cancer surgery. I love the man.
Often irritated, but never equal.
You know that one. All right. Back to you, God. I want to make this serious. Please let my friend Joe Klein make it through this surgery safely, and let him get that evil cancer out of his body so he can go back to gambling. And I don't want Joe Klein out of my life. I like hanging out with Joe Klein, and Joe Klein is one of my, he may not think so, but I consider him one of my dearest friends. And if I lost him, I'll be very upset, dear God. So please, let's all join together and say this prayer for my good friend Joe Klein. You can do it, my friend. All right. Amen. Sorry to bring the show down, but he's going into surgery today, and I'm worried about the guy. I want him to make it through. It's been a long time since I've done a show. Since I've done a show, it's been probably almost a month. Thank you, Casey, for filling in last week or 2 weeks ago for me. He did a bang-up job, I think. I listened to it on the way up to the Mountain House 2 weeks ago, and I was rolling laughing. And I hope everybody who he called names during the donation segment was not offended, but I thoroughly enjoyed his episode. So thank you, Casey, for filling in for me. I am back. I have just been so busy working my ass off, painting, fishing, crabbing. I went yesterday. Let's see, 2 days ago. I will get to the music. Yeah. Yes. I'll get. All right. Let's talk a little bit, and then I'll get to the music. Yesterday, or 2 days ago, I went and dropped crab traps for the first time. The season just opened a couple weeks ago, and I haven't been able to make it out because I was up in the Mountain House, and this last weekend, here's how busy I am. The Butlers had a gig. Was it the Butlers? No, the Plunketts had a gig on Friday night. After the gig, I slept for like 2 hours, got up, drove 4 hours to Big Sur to go fishing with a bunch of guys. On 2 hours sleep, we fished all day, and I fell asleep at like 6 o'clock. Did that, had to come home, go to work. I've been working my butt off. Yesterday, or the day before yesterday, I'm fucking out of it, man. I'm sorry. Let me take a sip of this fine Tecate. I finished the job on Monday. Soon as I finished, I came home, cleaned my brushes, grabbed my kayak, grabbed my crab traps, loaded them all up, went out to Rockaway Beach in Pacifica and dropped 3 crab traps, hung out for a little while and checked one of them, got 2 keeper crabs and went back in, left them out to soak overnight, went to another job on Tuesday, started that job and finished that job by 1 o'clock, came home, cleaned my brushes, got my kayak again, went down to Rockaway Beach in the pea soup thick fog. You could not see 10 feet in front of you. I'm all alone out in the ocean. No sense of direction to pull my crab traps up. I swear I could not see anything. I'm guiding myself through the fish finder. And I had this app called it's like the NOAA map or something. It's an app on your phone. So I tracked my movements through that. I pushed start the route. Also pushed start the route on the fish finder. And I had the crab traps marked on the fish finder. So I guided myself to the crab traps on the fish finder. Could not see anything. I mean, it was total fog. It was like the thickest fog I've ever seen. Made it to the first crab trap, or to the first marking of the crab trap. Couldn't find my crab trap. Nothing. I will play a song now and come back and continue the crab trap story. How about that? All right, let's start off with a brand new song by I can't believe I'm saying this, but my friend, Handsome Dick Manitoba. His album is called Born in the Bronx. I've been helping Handsome HDM with his podcast, and I talk to him probably every day on the phone. He's a great guy, man. I love the guy. He's wondering why I'm helping him. He says, I'm not giving you anything for it. Why are you helping me so much? And first of all, I'm a huge Handsome Dick and Dictators fan, so that's one thing, but I'm also trying to build up some karma, and I genuinely like Handsome Dick Manitoba. The guy is the real deal. So I'm going to play a song from his new album called Born in the Bronx, the very first Handsome Dick Manitoba solo album. This song is called Back to My TV.
I was trying to watch Kodak on my TV. Was more fun to see. So I stepped to the corner to grab a cup of coffee. When I notice it's a pop-up, I head back to my TV. I only live a block
There you go. Handsome Dick, Manitoba. The album's called Born in the Bronx. I will put a link where you can purchase that at rockandrollgeek.com. So, in the fog, I got to my first crab trap. I had dropped 3 traps the day before on Monday. It was a beautiful day on Monday. A little bit tough of a surf launch. You have to go through the waves to get out in the ocean. And I'm always scared on the surf launch. But Monday, I made it out okay. Dropped 3 crab traps. Came home with 2 crabs and left the traps out overnight. So the next day, it's super foggy. I'm the only kayak out there, at least that I thought. Checked on the radio. Nobody's answering me on the radio. So I'm navigating all just by my fish finder and by my phone. And I had my crab traps marked. So I get to where the first crab trap was supposed to be. No crab trap. I'm looking around, all around. I'm going in circles, about 100, all around where maybe what happened to it? Did it drift? Did somebody steal it? I don't know. But it's so foggy, and I'm getting scared. And it's going to get dark. It's like 3 p.m. It gets dark like 4:30 or 5 now in San Francisco with the time change. It's like 3:30, and I'm going, I don't have much time because my traps are about a mile or 2 out. So I say, all right, I'm going to go check the second trap, and I'll come back and look for it on my way back in with the other traps. So I get to the second trap. I find it okay. I have them marked on the fish finder. I find it okay. I start pulling this thing up. When I get the thing to the top, it is full of crabs. And I mean big, huge Dungeness crabs. They're so heavy, it almost tips my kayak over. Now, I don't want to capsize in the middle of the ocean in the fog by myself. Somehow, I managed to pull this thing into the middle of the kayak. It's full of crabs. Every single one of them is huge. And there must be 15, 20 crabs in there. I'm freaking out. I'm totally just not even thinking about my other trap that got stolen. I'm going, holy fucking shit. Look, oh, my phone's going crazy. Holy fucking shit, look at all these crabs. I am just hyperventilating all these crabs. So I take the 10 biggest ones, because you're only allowed to keep 10 crabs. That's the limit daily. I take the 10 biggest crabs, I put them in the back of my kayak. I dump the rest back in the ocean. And I couldn't get the trap to break down the trap, so I dropped the crab trap back down and go check the other trap, which is pretty close by. So I'm thinking, the other trap's going to be full too. I'm going to have like 40 crabs because it's right near it. I mean, it's impossible for the 2 traps to have the exact same bait in it and be within 20 or 30 yards of each other, and one be empty and one the other. So I start pulling the next one up. There's nothing in it. It's completely fucking empty, which means somebody poached my crab trap. If I didn't have limits in my other crab trap, I would have been furious. But I did. So, okay. So I broke that one down, took it apart, flattened it down so it would fit on the back of my kayak. Went back, got the other one, pulled it up. As a matter of fact, by the time I came back 10 minutes later, 15 minutes later, there was already another crab in that crab trap. So I know somebody stole the crabs out of that trap. I mean, they just recently got to it and stole them. So I pull that one up. I get rid of the other crab. Go back. I'm heading back in now, and I find my other trap. And it's empty. Somebody stole the crabs out of 2. Did I say trabs? Somebody stole the crabs. I like trabs better. Somebody stole the trabs out of 2 of my craps. But I did manage to come home with limits of crabs yesterday, and we had a couple for dinner last night. I was going to cook them all last night, but by the time I got home, it was like 7:00, and I was exhausted. I mean, completely exhausted from working all day and pedaling in the fog. I can't believe I made it back in safely. I did it all by no sight, all by reading my fish finder, which I was pretty proud of myself for being able to do that. Being a novice kayak fisherman, I'm sure other guys, I did see some other guys coming back in, and they didn't seem to be worried about the fog at all, but I was pretty scared. So I got home about 7:30. My wife was calling me. Where are you? What happened? Why are you taking so long? We're hungry. So they ordered Thai food, and we figured, all right, I'll just cook the crabs tomorrow night. But I was craving crabs so bad. I cooked the 2 that I caught the day before, and they were so delicious. They even went with the Thai food perfectly. So tonight I cooked the rest of the crab. I gave 4 of the huge crab to Chiaki Hinohara, my good friend Chiaki Hinohara. He showed up because he lives in Pacifica, and he came and took 4 of the big crabs. And I cooked the other 6 tonight, and they were fantastic. Made them with some garlic noodles. Oh, what a meal. I'm so glad crab season is back. So, yeah. That's my excuse for not doing a show for the last month. Every day is pretty much something like that. I've been so busy every single day with either fishing, working my butt off. I'm shorthanded at work. Boo-hoo, boo-hoo. But remember, friends, always look on the bright side of life. Life is great. It really is great. I mean, I came home with limits of crabs. What's not to love? I have work. I got a job. I got paid. And the most greatest thing about life is I got friends who donate to the Rock and Roll Geek Show. And that's what I'm going to do now, friends. I'm going to thank the people who donate to the Rock and Roll Geek Show. Let me find some music. This was sent to me by Eric, the Rock and Roll Plebe. A band called White Reaper. I'm going to play that in the background while I thank the donors. Let's see. Start off with the first one, Headwind. I'm going to take a sip of this fine Tecate and let Headwind play for a minute. There are several ways you can donate to the Rock and Roll Geek Show, friends. You can go to patreon.com/RNRGeek. Like Tim Schall did. He donates $10 every episode. Thank you to Joseph Coyne for the $10. Thank you to Joe Pawlak for the $6.66. Thank you to Rodney Cross for the $5. Thank you to Derek Lewis for the $5. Thank you to Dan Gerawan for the $5. Thank you to Brian Springer, $5. Bette Wood, $5. I like this kind of little power poppy. I like it. Thank you to Grand Farquhar for the $5. Thank you to Jamie Jefford for $5. Marcia York, $5. Thank you to Robert Harvey for the $5 every episode. Thank you to Brad Shick for the $5 every episode. Thank you to Daniel Segan for the $5. Thank you, Daniel Segan. Thank you to Michael Street, my good friend Michael Street, and friend of the show, for the $5 every episode. Did I thank Daniel Segan for the $5? If I didn't, I'm thanking you again, Daniel. Thank you to Ken Kennedy. As Casey said, Ken Kennedy, the rock and roll rapist. He's not, but I think that's hilarious. Thank you to Chiaki Hinohara, my good friend, host of the Metal Movement podcast and the Japanese Metalhead show. I hope you enjoyed that crowd, Chiaki. I know I enjoyed mine. He donates $5 every episode, too. And he doesn't even have a job. He's unemployed and he donates to the Rock and Roll Geek Show. All right, let's find another one here. 1F. Thank you to Thank you to my podcast mentor and co-host of Mad at Dad, Dave Slusher, for the $5. I like this.
Sing songs to each other, 'cause we're all we can get. Okay, I've never seen those eyes before. Can you see them?
Yeah, this is good. Thank you to John Boveri for the $5. Thank you to Kirk Crawford for the $3. Thank you to Chad Burns for the $2.50. Thank you to Derek Coward, host of Comic Book Noise podcast, for the $2.50. To the chorus. I like this. This is good. Thank you, Rock and Roll Plebe, for sending me this. Or for not sending me this, because that would have just been wrong. Thank you to Paul Rube for the $2.25. Thank you to Metal Dan for $2. Thank you to Adrian Boschrock on the Rock and Roll Geek Facebook page, which I did not create, but I do approve, people. You just have to answer 2 questions, so I know you are not a whistleblower. Thank you to Patrick Shanahan for the $2. Thank you to Mike Dixon for the $2. Thank you to Paul Underwood, maker of Underwood's Fine Barbecue Sauce, for the $2. Thank you to Bruce McMillan for the $2. To the chorus again. I like this. I'm going to have to look more into White Reaper. I think I played him on the show before. Thank you to Matthew Hunt for the $2. Thank you to, did I thank Bruce McMillan for the $2? I'm thanking you again. Thank you to Eric Stower for the $2. Thank you to Bonstone, Amelia Bowen, Arnie Stash, 3 Legs, 4 Wheels, John Richardson, and Corey Kohler for the $1 on Patreon. Let's find another song here. How about Real Long Time? Real Long Time. You can also go to PayPal, or just better yet, just click the link, the donate link at rockandrollgeek.com. It'll take you to all the ways you can donate. Remember, friends, this is a value for value, so if you get any value out of this at all, that's what I ask you to please contribute. If you don't get any value, don't contribute anything. But if you do, like Lakeside Park, donate $20 through PayPal. Thank you to Donald Patterson for the $20. Thank you to Richard Fusey. As Casey said, the Rock and Roll Tattletale. I don't know why he called him the Rock and Roll Tattletale. Thank you to Douglas Free for $20. Thank you to Stephen Bailey for the $12. Thank you to the friend of the show and friend of mine, Todd Cunningham, for the $10. I still got to send these shirts out to you, Todd Cunningham, but they're coming. It just takes me a while to get to the post office because I've been working my ass off. Thank you to Jason Shepard for the $10. Thank you to Bradley Lisco for the $10. Thank you to Dave Jackson and the School of Podcasting, $10. Thank you to Rodney Cross for the $10. Thanks to Jeff and Sherry Thielke for the $10. Thanks to James Padgett for the $10. Thanks to James Venners for the $10. Thank you to Dave Franco for the $10. Thank you to friend of the show and friend of mine, pardon me, I'm Burma's Fine Tecate, Ralph Miller for the $5, for the $10. Thank you to Andrew Howell for the $5. Thank you to Dale Roller for the $5. Thank you to Christopher Del Grande for the $5. Thanks to Gerald Carroll for the $5. Thank you to Kelly Mitchell for the $5. Thank you to Sigmund Heidacher for the $5. Thank you to Richard Fusey for another $5. Thank you to Brett Garski for the $5. Thank you to Benjamin Muller for the $5. Thanks to Dick Schuzd for the $5. Shit. Thank you, Dick, for the $5. I'm sorry I mispronounced your name. Thank you to John Tennis for the $5. Thank you to Greg Long for the $5. Thank you to Blake Johnson, $5. Blake Johnson. Thank you to Eric Lentz for the $5. Thanks to Kelly Mitchell for another $5. Thanks to Michael Williams for the $5. Thank you to Richard Strom for the $5. Thank you to Peter Spark for the $5. John Offenloch for the $5. Thank you to William Moffat for the $2. Lassie Sadadagan, $2. John Skiller, Bradford Page, Deborah Dreyfus, if that's your real name. And finally, Richard Fusey for another $2. Oh, and Jason Wendleton. Can't forget him for the $2. Thank you to everybody who donates. Without your donations, this show would die a horrible, putrid, stench-filled death. I take a sip of this fine Tecate to you. It's a value for value, friends. If you don't have any money, you can also click the donate link at rockandrollgeek.com. And there's an Amazon link. So if you're going to go shopping for Christmas from Amazon, everybody buys stuff on Amazon. Click through my link, and anything you buy, I get a little kickback. It's a way to support the show. You can also support the show, value for value. If you get any value, you can also just help produce the show. You can book me a guest. You can reach out to somebody who you'd like to hear on the show and say, hey, come on the Rock and Roll Geek Show, and then you can book them. That's a good way to help the show. You can send me audio comments. That's a good way. You could send me barbecue sauce in the mail, hot sauce. You could call in your favorite Eddie Trunk show and say Super Great couldn't be better, or Michael Butler, fit it in there somehow. There's plenty of ways to contribute, friends. And if you think the show sucks, you can just tell me the show sucks. And that is appreciated too. All right, friends. Why don't we, let's see here. Somebody posted on the Rock and Roll Geek Facebook group, which I did not create, but I do approve people, their review of the new Michael Monroe album. And I had been meaning to review this out, to do a track by tracks on this album. So I think I'll do that now. Pete Winezetti says, the new Michael Monroe is out. Let's do the Rock and Roll Geek scoring system. I love the album. Michael Monroe records always deliver the goods, man. Perfect rock record production, great tones, catchy sing-along songs, mainly thanks to Steve Conte and that killer attitude and voice. Like Michael B. has said a million times, dude is definitely in the top 5 frontmen singers out there. Here's my review of the Rock and Roll Geek scoring system style. Just can't give a 0 anywhere as long as that voice is in there. And he goes on to give his scoring system. So here's what I'm going to do. I am going to do the Rock and Roll Geek scoring system, my score of the Michael Monroe album, which is called One Man Gang. And I will compare a couple other people. Pete Winezetti gave his review, and James Schwab did, and a couple other people as well. So I will compare notes. Let me see if I can find Michael Monroe here. Let me see. Michael Monroe. Let's see. Michael. Michael Monroe. Okay. The album is called not Blackout States. It's not The Best of Michael Monroe. It's not Another Night in the Sun. It's not Hanoi Connection. It's not Life Gets You Dirty. It's not Nights Are So Long. It's not Faking It. It's One Man Gang. Here you go. All right. Let me find something to write on here. This is a credit card bill. That should work. An unpaid credit card bill late notice. That should work. All right. Michael Monroe. One Man Gang. All right. So as you know, if you're a long-time listener, you know this. But if you're a new listener, thank you. First of all, thank you for tuning in, friends. The Rock and Roll Geek scoring system, you'll probably email me and tell me, I had to sit through this listen to you thank everybody for donating before you 36 minutes before you finally got to the fucking Michael Monroe review. Thank you for waiting, friends. What's to get mad about? Life is great. Okay, I tell myself that every morning when I wake up at 4:45. Life is great. Okay. All right, the Rock and Roll Geek scoring system is, if I like the song, I give it a +1. If I don't like it, I give it a 0. If it's okay, I give it a half. And we tally them all up, and then we put that over the number of songs on the album. For instance, this album has 12 songs. If I like all 12, it'd be a 12 out of 12. If I don't like one song out of 12, it'd be 1 out of 12. All right, let me find the liner notes to see if there's anything about this on the Wikipedia, because I just have the MP3s. Michael Monroe Wiki. All right. La-da-da, da-da-da. All right, let's see if we can find his discography, and hopefully there's going to be something about One Man Gang. Yes, there is. All right. Let me take a sip of this fine Tecate, calm down, finish this Tecate, open up my third one of the day, or was it my third? Yeah, third one of the day. Second one down. Open up the third one. You know what they say about the third Tecate of the day, friends? The third one of the day is always the best. All right, first song is called One Man Gang. Let's read about it first. It was recorded in E Studios in Sipoo, Finland. It's on Silver Lining Music, produced by Michael Monroe, Steve Jones, take two. Produced by Michael Monroe, Rich Jones, and Steve Conte. I think most of the album was written by Steve Conte and Rich Jones. I believe Rich Jones wrote like almost all the songs. I think Steve Conte might have done 2, and there's no songwriting credits on the entire album. It just says Rich Jones. So I don't know how many he wrote and how many that Steve Conte wrote, but the album, it contained the musicians are the same ones that have been on the last few: Rich Jones, Sam Yaffa, Carl Rockfist, who used to be in Chelsea Smiles. I knew him when I was when American Heartbreak went on tour with Chelsea Smiles and Backyard Babies. Steve Conte on guitar, and of course Michael Monroe, one of the greatest lead vocals going on lead vocals. Produced by, I already said that, was mixed by Petri Majuri. Rich Jones did the artwork. Because I think Rich Jones's day job is he does graphic arts and designs album covers and websites. Pardon me, I'm burping up this fine Tecate. First song, One Man Gang. One Man Gang. Here we go!
Well, you know that I ain't Elvis or Jesus, but I got a pretty face. Ain't no salary man, put in a dirty red face. You can try you want, but you'll never put me in my place.
Pete Winezetti gives it a big +1.
You can try all you want, but you're never gonna keep me down. I ain't walking on water, but I know.
James Schwab said, I post my whole thing, but you nailed it with this statement. Just can't give a 0 anywhere as long as that voice is there. You're a fanboy, and you gave the record a fanboy review. Okay.
From the heart of the city to the out of the way.
He gives One Man Gang a +1.
All parade, but I'm a one-man gang, and I'm running on that pyramid. I was front of the lineup when they gave an attitude. I don't go in the dark, but I can sure I never room. You can try all you want, but you'll never tell me what to do. I'll be kicking and screaming when they force me underground. From the heart of the garden to the church of the town. You can try you all, but I'm never gonna turn it down. I ain't walking on water.
Eric, the rock and roll plebe, gave me his track-by-track review. He also gives us a +1.
You can follow the plans, but you never understand. From the heart of the city to the out of the way, everybody's pissing on their own parade. But I'm one man.
I think the song is great. I give it a big +1. James Schwab says the production is subpar. The drum sound is annoying as shit. That bump drum sound is horrible. All I can hear is a bump on the tom so loud in the mix it's killing the songs. You hear that?
To the out of the way,
I don't notice it, James Schwab.
pissing on their own parade.
I can't believe how much the fanboys are loving. Okay, I'm gonna wait until later to read that. Okay, I give it a +1. I think Rich Jones had a lot to do with that song because Rich Jones used to play in a band called the Black Halos, who were friends of ours in American Heartbreak. And if you know anything about Black Halos, you know how Rich Jones's writing style is. So I think that's pretty much a Rich Jones tune. It has a Black Halos feel. As a matter of fact, I could put an argument that this sounds like the Black Halos with Michael Monroe on vocals. Next song, Last Train to Tokyo. I think that riff could be a Steve Conte riff, but the little melodic, that's American Heartbreak, and Black Halos right there. Let me back it up. Again here. Catchy riff.
Head spinning, the day's dawning, neon shines in the early morning, hearts racing, skyscraping, I come alive when the dawn is breaking, Shinjuku rocks and Shibuya shakes, my heart is heavy and my head still aches, I'm off the rails and I got no brakes. Next up, self-destruction. Yeah, you know, I'm on the last train back.
All right, anthemic chorus. I love the chorus. Big +1 for me on this one. Probably one of my favorites on the album.
And I can't find my way home. Scratch your names on faded record sleeves. Old haunts bring out all those memories. Familiar faces fill empty spaces. The house is packed and
Eric the Rock and Roll Plebe, +1. One of my favorites. Catchy chorus.
my feet are heavy and my jaw feels tight.
Pete Winezetti, big +1.
No stop and no directions. Yeah, you know.
James Schwab, half.
And I'm all
Are
alone.
there any other reviews in here? Just Pete Winezetti that goes on to be a thread about this. Magnus Stenson says, I've listened to it 3 times now. Instead of growing on me, I keep losing interest. The songs are not bad, but lack something special to make them stick with you. Last Train to Tokyo is the only chorus that keeps popping up in my head. Huh, okay.
Yeah, you know, I'm on the last train back to Tokyo, and I'm all alone.
All right, I'll give that one a +1. Next song, Junk Planet. Junk Planet. One thing I will say, Sam Yaffa, underrated bass player. That guy is fucking great on bass. And he plays a Fender jazz bass that was autographed by Dennis Dunaway. Michael Monroe pulls out the harmonica.
I'm sick, I wanna blast off and hit.
This sounds a lot like the Black Halos.
I'm always shaking the trash off. This place is overrun. The scenery is plastic. Sincerity is fake. My head is gone spastic. Hit the emergency brake. Jumping off, jump planet. In a maze, no place to go. The bourgeois, you can have it. This star is ready to blow. Everything is looking calm in space. Down here, run with the rats.
Not a very catchy chorus. Michael Monroe, of course, sounds great, like P. Winzetti says. I like this part. The da-da-na-na.
Wiping the dirt from their hands.
The chorus is what is kind of a letdown on this song.
Somebody making your plans. Living happy never after.
I'm going to give it a half. It's a strong half.
And it's all out of face. Jumping up, jump plenty. The poor fade while the money flows. All the junk.
James Schwab says,
Skull and bones will never know. Earthquake and hurricane and floods. A death letter.
What does James Schwab
written in
say?
cold blue blood.
He gives Junk Planet a half. Says, I gave the entire record. I'll wait on that. Too. Yeah, the song doesn't really go that anywhere, so I'm giving it a half. Eric the Rock and Roll Plebe says, +1.
Jumping off a jump.
I like this.
Staring out your cell window. All the junk you
All right, half for me. All right, number 4, Midsummer Nights. Is this the ballad? Yes, it is.
when the cold went through you.
I like when Michael Monroe sings in a lower register.
You were young and high. You were young and high.
Who do I think wrote this one?
Misfits was your only business. You were young
The
and
ballad, but power ballad.
you were young and high and lit up the sky.
I think this is a Steve Conte tune. I could be wrong.
Young and reckless, born to wander, left us breathless. Those midsummer nights, they were so bright.
Eric the Rock and Roll Plebe +1 was actually a strong half at first. Didn't like the light in the sky lyric rhyme, but after a second listen, it started growing on me. It's not a particularly original sounding tune.
Tossed for rent checks when you're young and high. When you're young and high. Pinned your hopes on an endless feeling. Pinned your eyes and it left you reeling. When
James?
you're young and high. When you're young and high. You light up the sky. Light up the sky. 'Cause we always thought that we were young.
James Schwab said a giant +1. Wow. But he doesn't like the record, but he gives this one a giant +1. All right.
Nights, they were so bright, they burned away.
Pete Winzetti, big +1, even though it's a bit of a sappy power ballad arrangement.
Young and reckless, born
I'm leaning towards a strong half, but these guys are kind of changing my mind.
those midsummer nights, they were so bright, they burned away. Under the starlight, under the sunlight,
I don't like the bridge very much.
you were reminded of all the headlights that left you blinded. Now, come on, come home.
What I'm wondering is why Steve Conte didn't take as much of a part in the songwriting. Could this be the last Michael Monroe album that Steve Conte plays on? I'm going to make a prediction that that's a possibility. I hope I'm wrong. All right, I'm going to give it a +1. Next song, The Pitfalls of Being an Outsider. I think this is a Rich Jones song. It sounds a little bit Black Halos.
The tank is empty, we're running on fumes.
You know what it sounds like? I think Rich Jones said, I'm going to write a Hanoi Rock sounding tune.
Being an outsider. The road is long and the night's getting longer. What doesn't kill us probably won't make us stronger. The gears grind and the cuts still sting, but I wouldn't change a goddamn thing. And I ain't coming
Yeah,
out.
it sounds a lot like a Hanoi Rock tune.
Don't wanna join your social club. It ain't a long way to the bottom. And I ain't coming out to support the scene. Don't
Rock and Roll Plebe, Big Plus One. I think this is my favorite song on the album.
get to the bottom. So won't you give it a shot?
Probably because he's a Hanoi Rocks fan.
There's broken hearts and the
Pete Winezetti, Big Plus One.
pay sucks when you stick it to the man. The score's tied, but there ain't no decider. These are the pitfalls of being an outsider. I pay my dues, but I can't pay my rent. I may be coming.
James Schwab, Plus One.
The gears grind and the cuts still
I
sting.
think we all agree this is a Plus One.
Damn thing. And I ain't coming
Catchy chorus, very Hanoi Rock sounding. I like this one.
club. It ain't a long way to the bottom. And I ain't coming out to support the scene. Don't give a fuck if you don't like me. It
The Don't Give a Fuck If You Don't Like Me, I think it's a kind of a Steve Bader's a callback. I like the solo. That's guessing that's a... Shit, I don't know who's playing that solo. I'm thinking Steve Conte. I could be wrong. Again, solid fucking bass playing from Sam Yabber. That guy's great.
nobody loves you when
He's got one of the best bass tones out there, too.
but I ain't coming out 'cause I need the love.
And say what you want about the drum sound, James Schwab. Carl Rockfist is a great drummer.
And I ain't coming out to support the scene.
All right, Plus One. Next song, Wasted Years.
Police cars on the west side push us down on the east.
This is a Hanoi Rock sounding tune.
And
Whoever wrote this, either Steve Conte or Rich Jones, said, I think Rich Jones probably wrote this because I think Rich Jones is a huge Hanoi Rocks fan, and this sounds a lot like Hanoi Rocks tune.
tonight, this is the sound of the wasteland, and we're all drowning in quicksand.
You know what I should have done was it's too late now, but I should have probably done a back-to-back like I did with Hank Von Hell and Turbo Negro. I should have done One Man Gang from Michael Monroe and the new Andy McCoy. Damn it! That's why I need a producer.
Time for no more wasted years.
Now, let's get back to this song.
And burn out cars by
Now, I like the verse. The verse is classic Hanoi Rock sounding.
when they find your face down in the Hudson, they say it ain't a disease. This is the sound of the wasteland.
I like the pre-chorus.
And you're all drowning in quicksand. So put the cap on the gas tank, 'cause I'm ready to burn.
The chorus.
For all my friends and all my peers, I got no regrets for my ways.
Yeah, I like this one a lot. I'm sorry, I like this one. I think I read that James Schwab hates this one. Oh, James Schwab gives us a half. Pete Winezetti gives it a half.
For all my friends and all
Eric the Rock and Roll Plebe gives it a half. Not awful, but a little sappy, and heard this type of song before, done better. All right. Well, I give it a +1. I like the classic Hinohara Rock sound of it. By Hinohara Rock sound, I mean the Hinohara Rock's melody. All right, +1 for me. All right, next song, In the Tall Grass. In the Tall Grass. All right, Sam Yaffa starting it off. Little kind of replacements, maybe. Again, I think this is a Rich Jones tune.
Leaves on the trees all blow, lit up orange in the street lights.
I like it. I like his voice.
We ain't got a place to go, down the avenues and shortcuts, sunset and silver stars, as we climb into the backs of cars. If we
James Schwab. My conclusion. I can't believe how much the fanboys are loving this record. I think it's a pretty big letdown from the previous ones with some high points. Let's hear the chorus. I like that riff, that down. I think this is Steve Conte soon. My guess.
Heading home when the darkness falls.
I'm sorry, I got off of James Schwab's. I can't believe how much the fanboys are loving this record. I think it's a pretty big letdown from the previous ones with some high points. I have it as a 7.5, which is 7.5. Let's hear the chorus.
Like the shadows we cast,
This part is great.
not slip away. Like another friend who passed, making memories 'cause the summer's fading fast.
James Schwab, I have it as a 7.5, which is just an average-ish record. There are a few really good records here. I think he means few good tunes. But this isn't even close to on par with previous records from Michael Monroe.
Faded. The summer nights got a little too cold. Say goodbye.
P. Winezetti says, good review, James. I feel your pain, man. I had the same problem with the Angel fanboys on that train wreck of a record. Yeah. You know I got thrown off of the fucking Angel Facebook group? I got thrown off because I trashed the album. I didn't trash the album. I made fun of the guitar player being fat. And that motherfucker the moderator threw me off the Angel fans group. Yeah, those are some fucking fanboys. I'm gonna say something, man. If you're a fan of a band, you should be the ones who are the most critical of the band. And the band should be grateful to you for being so critical. They're the hardcore fans. I guarantee I'm more of a hardcore fan of Angel than these fucks. All right, I'm going to stop. I'm giving that one a +1. I like it. Oh, wait, stop. 7. What was that, track 7? I'm giving track 7 in the Tall Grass a +1. What did they give it? James Schwab gave him the Tall Grass a 0. Okay. Pete Winezetti gave him the Tall Grass a +1. Let's see what Eric the Rock and Roll Plebe gave it. Big +1. I like the different vocal textures he uses, and another contender to be my favorite. All right. Now, I have to use the bathroom, so I'm going to let this one roll. I'm going to play it really loud so I can be listening while I'm using the bathroom. I could use the cup here, but I think I'm just going to go to the bathroom since it's right behind me. This song is called Black Ties and Red Tape. Not crazy about the title, but let's hear it.
Step up and gather around, boys. We gotta hit the books. I know you're starving, but the business
Steinbach. Kind of a generic punk tune. Sounds like a Black Halo's B-side. I'm gonna go half on this one. Doesn't suck, but I'm giving it a half. Rock and Roll Plebe. He gives it a half. Not much to it, but it does rock, and I like the title. I didn't like the title. Rich Jones solo. Pete Winezetti, Black Ties, Red Tape, a half. James Schwab, he gives it a half too. So we all agree it's a half. All right, next song, Hollywood Paranoia. I like the I don't care about.
It's time to bury all the old ghosts.
I think that this could be a Steve Conte tune.
I hear you calling, but I ain't going out like that. It's a long way down to self-destroy.
I like the chorus.
It's a Hollywood paranoia when they call the cops.
Catchy chorus.
Call your lawyer. You got the Hollywood paranoia now.
James Schwab gives this one a half.
Grinding jaws in the bathroom stalls.
Pete Winezetti, big +1.
I don't care about all your dopes with your velvet ropes. You know I don't care about.
Rock and Roll Plebe, +1. I give it a +1 too, as well.
The old ghosts, the ones who never made it back.
I can see where James Schwab would give it a half because the verses aren't that catchy, but the chorus is over the top catchy.
Destroyer.
It's a Hollywood pair. It's catchy as hell. Sing along.
Cops better call your lawyer. You got the Hollywood paranoia. Paranoia's got you losing touch with fantasy, drowning in reality, giving into sanity now. And I got no need for party lines, seen it all a million times. Walking like a chatterbox and getting real sick of you. It's a long way down to self-destroyer. It's a Hollywood paranoia. When they
Yeah, that's a $1 million chorus.
You got the Hollywood paranoia. When the VIPs all start to bore you. You got the Hollywood paranoia.
All right, I'm giving that one a +1. By the way, James Schwab, you are not the only one who thinks this album is a letdown. I've talked to a couple other people. One of the guys in the Butlers who's a huge Michael Monroe and Henry Rocks fan. You know who it is. I'm not going to mention his name, though. He's let down by it, too, but I like that tune. So if my scoring system, I'm glancing at my sheet here, and it's looking like it's a pretty high scoring system. So it could go down. Next song, Heaven is a Free State. Oh, yeah, this is the mariachi sounding one. like when Michael Monroe sings in this key, like low like this.
Lies and crimes and inquisition. Got a problem with all your solutions. What we need's a brand new constitution. Heaven is a free state. Don't need a second-hand saint. Heaven is a free state. Our freedom shouldn't have to wait. All it takes is just a little leap of faith. Best make your move today. It's time to liberate.
Yeah, the song goes nowhere.
Don't give in to the daily grind. No
I'm
peace.
thinking this is a Steve Conte tune.
Shake off the shackles
If I didn't know any better, I'd think it was the same Yaffa tune.
behind. Clear your head from all the mind.
I think this might be a Sam Yaffa tune. Not crediting him.
We postpone our
I gotta give this one a 0. This song blows.
free state.
There's nothing good about this tune, really.
My strength.
Not a catchy chorus.
Heaven is a free
I don't mind the saxophone or the trumpets or whatever, but yeah. Rock and roll plebe. 0. Could be a weak half, but to keep the rock cred, I will rank it a 0. It just doesn't do much for me. Yeah, I hear you. The rock cred. I applaud them for putting the trumpets in there, but I don't love it. Pete Weinzetti, half. Why the Mexican mariachi intro and breaks, though? Gives it a half.
Heaven is a free state. It's everybody's claim to stay. Heaven is a free state.
James Schwab gives it a half.
High up in the
All
sky,
right.
it's right.
Okay, I give it a 0. Next song, we got 2 songs left. Helsinki Shakedown. I like that right off the bat.
The songs of summer faded and the winter cut to my core. As you counted your money at the liquor store. The thought of sleep eroded in room number 604.
Don't love the verses,
As I counted the minutes,
but they're not bad.
until another morning's lost.
Let's hear the chorus.
We got 400 miles to go. Faces fade in the TV glow. Rain driving on the bus windows. But we're never gonna change the life we know. Break down on a Monday morning. Shake down in a Helsinki city. When my pocket's empty, my senses left me. And I went on my way. Break down on a
Yeah, it's a well-written tune.
Shake down in a Helsinki city.
Not one of my favorites, but I can't give it a 0. I can't even give it I gotta give it a +1. It's a well-written tune. Not my favorite, but I gotta give credit where credit's due. It's a well-written tune. Think it might be Steve Conte tune.
The morning streets were teeming with the Tyson Day flannel patrol.
Listen more, I might lower it to a half. It's a soft +1, if that.
Scrolling empty lyrics like the shit mines are full of gold. So I put another record on in my high-rise block of coal. Still got 200 miles to go. Singles fade.
Maybe Pete Weinzetti, James Schwab, and Eric the Rock and Roll Plebe can change my mind. Let's read their reviews.
We know
James Schwab gives Helsinki Shakedown a +1.
Down in a Helsinki city where my pocket's empty, my senses left me.
Pete Winezetti, +1.
Break down on a Monday morning.
Rock and Roll Plebe, half.
You said it, all the times I wasted, I orchestrated, and I went on my way.
See, Rock and Roll Plebe's changing my mind now. No, I think I'm going to stick with a +1. This is a breakdown. There's a breakdown. Yeah, I'm going to stick to the +1. Okay, last song, Low Life in High Places. Low Life in High Places. Eric to Rock and Roll Plebe, +1. The album ends on a solid note. That's a great bass tone, man. James Schwab, +1.
Dirty souls and blood red carpets, the patients are out of the ward.
Pete Winezetti, half.
Smiles and bloodshot eyes.
Let's tally up, James.
James.
James Schwab said he gives it a 7.5 out of 9. Out of 12, I mean, excuse me. No, he gives it a what did he give it? I gave it a 7.5, basically a mediocre record, which is what it is. It doesn't stand up to the last 3, 4 if you count the live one. Back to Not Faking It, I've followed every Michael Monroe release, and this one doesn't hold up. Let's see, he gives it 1, 1.5, 2, 3, 4.5, 5.5, 6, 7. I think James Schwab, you gave it an 8. Let's retally your score here. +1.5. Last Year in Tokyo, a half. Junk Planet, a half, so that's a 2. Midsummer Night's Giant, +1, that's 3. Pitfalls, a +1, that's 4. Wasted Years, a half, so that's 4.5. In the Tall Grass, a 0, still 4.5. Black Ties, Red Tape, a half, that's 5. Hollywood Paranoia, that's a half, 5.5. Heaven is a Free State, half, that's 6. Helsinki Shakedown, 7. Low Life in High Places, 8. So you don't have it as a 7.5, you have it as an 8 out of 12, James Schwab. Did I count that right? I think I did. Pete Winezetti, 9.5 out of 12. Look, Plebe gives it a 1. His total is a 9.5 out of 12. Here's the part that I like of this song. Listen to that bass. That bass tone is fucking great, man. This is one of my favorite songs today. I'm giving it a +1. Let's tally mine up now. 1, 2.5, 3.5, 4.5, 5.5, 6.5, 7, 8, 9, 10. So I'm giving it a 10 out of 12. Okay, let's count it again. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. I give it 10 out of 12. I like it better than everybody else. There you go, friends. Do you disagree with me? Send me an email, rockandrollgeek@gmail.com with the subject line, Butler, stop sucking Michael Monroe's dick. This album blows! If you agree with me, send me an email with the subject line, Butler. You're absolutely right. Those other assholes don't know what the hell they're talking about. This album is great. It's great. A 10 out of 12 is a pretty good score. It probably will make my top 10, I have to say. So there you go. I hate this Rock and Roll Geek, the Rock and Roll Geek scoring system doesn't lie, friends. All right. Hope you enjoyed that track by track of the Michael Monroe album, One Man Gang. I thought it's a good album. Wish I could write a 10 great tunes out of 12. I'll tell you what else is good. This third Tecate is very good. Whew. I'm going to finish it right now. All right. Do I have anything else to talk about? We're an hour and 13 minutes, but I got a couple other things I want to go through. Let's play a song first, shall we? Okay. I'm going to play something that is, let's play the singer for Saxon has a new album out, or it's coming out. And I'm going to play a song, the first single, which is called, what is the first single called? On With the Show? Is that what it's called? Let me see. I'm going to pull up my playlist here. It is called Welcome to the Show. All right, brand new Biff Byford. Welcome, it's a solo album. Lead singer from Saxon has a solo album called Welcome to the Show. Or no, the album is called, what is the album called? Let me pull it up here. Let me pause this and pull it up on my emails. Because I got a promo from the record label, so let me pause this. By the way, thank you, James Schwab, Pete Weinzetti, and Rock and Roll Plebe for contributing to the show, to the review of the new Michael Monroe. And I didn't ask them for it either, so I appreciate your unsolicited track-by-track reviews. It really helps me out on the show. So please, friends, that's another way you can help produce the show. It's value for value. Those guys are giving me value. And hopefully I'm giving value to them. So it's value for value. All right? Thank you, friends. Legendary Saxon frontman Biff Byford set to release first solo album, School of Hard Knocks, due February 21st, 2020 on Silver Lining Music. Silver Lining, isn't that the same label that Michael Monroe's album is on? Yeah, it is. Huh. How about that? What a coincidence. Silver Lining Music, I'm promoting the hell out of your artists, motherfuckers. I'm sure they care. On February 1st, 21st, legendary Saxon frontman Biff Byford will step into the spotlight with his first ever solo album, School of Hard Knocks. The English North is everything you saw in Game of Thrones and more. It is the true heart of England, the region where its soul resides. And Biff Byford has earned the right to be considered its true heavy metal bard. Biff takes on not just tales of stories from his heart and soul, but also investigates the Middle Ages and medieval history amongst other subjects. I love metal that talks about the Middle Ages and medieval history. I love it. I'm singing about my past. I'm singing about my past, of course, and about things I like, but mostly I wanted to reflect me, my personality, and my life, says Biff. Song-wise, it's more diverse and not just focused on heavy metal. I wanted it to be a slice of the music I like, from metal to rock and roll, I'm a guy who's just as happy listening to Metallica or Judy Garland. Is he gay? I don't think he's gay. Because it's as long as it's great and entertains me, then what more do I need? An R.L. Byford storybook and highlighting his life and passion and interest, School of Hard Knocks is in all senses a classic, masterfully constructed, old-school British hard rock album. Read that again. That's the selling point of the album right there. An R.L. Byford storybook highlighting his life and passion and interest, School of Hard Rocks is in all senses a classic, masterfully constructed, old-school British hard rock album. All right, let's hear some old-school British hard rock. Welcome to the show. There you go, Biff Byford. I agree. Old school British hard rock. I like it. All right, pleasantly surprised with Biff Byford. I don't know why I'm pleasantly surprised. I like Saxon. You know, I saw Saxon open for, I saw him open for Priest when they came, and I saw him open for UFO before that. That bass player is great. Saxon, we opened for Saxon. That's right. Butler's played with Saxon in Berkeley. They were nice guys, too. They were cool dudes. Yeah, good for Biff Byford. I'm going to have to, got February. A little bit of ways to wait, but I like that tune. All right, I'm about ready to wrap this up. I do want to say one more thing. About, I'm going to say maybe 4 or 5 months ago, somebody posted something on the Rock and Roll Geek Facebook page, which I did not create, but I do approve people. Just got to answer 2 questions. So I know you're not a whistleblower. They were talking about the Black Crowes, and I said, this is about 4 months ago, I said, you heard it here first. The Black Crowes are reuniting. And on Friday, was it Friday? I think Friday, they announced that, could have been Monday, they announced that they are reforming. So I called it. All right? It was a scoop from your friend Michael Butler. Take that, Eddie Trunk! But that being said, it is a money grab. I know it's a money grab because, one, they are all new musicians because they don't want to pay anybody. I have also heard that the 2 Robinson brothers don't have a lot of money left, and they really needed the money, and they were offered a lot for this. The drummer, was his name Steve Gorman? I think his name's Steve Gorman. He's kind of bummed out that they're doing this, and he says it's sad. In defense of the Black Crowes, or the Robinson brothers, Steve Gorman, if they asked him to be part of the reunion, he would not say it's sad, but I think he just kind of bummed out that they didn't ask him. But I don't blame him. I heard his book's good. Craig from the Butlers read it. He's a huge Black Crowes fan. I, on the other hand, am not a huge Black Crowes fan. I don't have anything against them. It's just, I did see them when I went to the Laughlin River Run with my friend Joe Klein. Once again, everybody, please pray for Joe Klein. This is life or death, friends. They were doing the Grateful Dead hippie shit, and they didn't play any of their hit songs. They might have played one, like the last tune. They didn't talk to the audience at all, and it was pretty much hippie jams the entire set. I didn't like it. It's not my thing. I got no problem with a band trying to sound like the Faces or whatever, and they have a good look and all that, but I don't really care that much about Black Crowes, but I did call it. I had it on a good source that they were reforming. I want something else I was going to say about that too, but I forgot. It must not have been important. All right, friends. Thank you for listening. Value for value. All right, enough of that. Thank you for listening. You can find this show at rockandrollgeek.com. Find me on the Facebook, R&R Geek. Find me on the Twitter, R&R Geek. Find me on the Instagram, Rock and Roll Geek. Don't ask. You'll find a lot of fishing pictures and stuff. But, yeah, Instagram, Rock and Roll Geek. I am about 2/3 of the way through with the Cowboy Mike Bell book. It takes me a long time to read books. I just don't have time to sit down and read. But, man, I'm enjoying this book. I am thoroughly enjoying it so much. There's so many great stories, and it's well written. If this is diary entries that Cowboy Mike Bell did, he's a good writer, man. He's coming on the show next week. A little teaser for you. I'm looking forward to talking to the cowboy again. And he says, his autograph, he sent me the book, says, to Michael, you, underline you, lit the fuse on this one, brother. There you go. Am I jealous of Eddie Trunk? Yes, I am, but I'm also bragging about things that I lit the fuse under and things I predicted. That makes me a douchebag. Yes, I know it does, friends. Send me an email. You're a douchebag. rockandrollgeek@gmail.com. All right, friends, thank you for listening. I'm going to close out with one more tune. This was posted on the Rock and Roll Geek Facebook group, too, by Sandy Hyde, who's always posting really good tunes on the Facebook group. Like every day, he posts like 2 or 3 good tunes. If you want to be turned on to good music, follow Sandy Hyde, because that guy's got good taste in music. This is brand new Hunt Sales. Hunt Sales was in Tin Machine, Soupy Sales' son. Was he part of Robert Palmer's band too? I don't think so, but he was in something else. Casey asked him if he wanted to come on the Rock and Roll Geek Show, and he said yes. Would you like it to hear him on the Rock and Roll Geek Show? Send me an email, rockandrollgeek@gmail.com. You're going to have to send me some fun facts about Hunt Sales, because I know his brother's Tony and Hunt Sales, but I don't know that much about them. So if you want to hear him on the show, send me an email, rockandrollgeek@gmail.com. All right, I'm going to close out with a Hunt Sales tune. The song is called One Day. I will talk to you very soon, friends. Thank you for listening. Michael Butler is pretty buzzed and signing off.
One day, I'll worry a little bit less. One day, I'll think about myself a little bit less. One day, I'll love my brothers. One day, I believe I'm so alone. I feel so alone, I feel unloved. One day, I'll stop thinking about all I haven't done. One day, won't be so proud to ask for a little bit of help. One day, I'll think a little bit less. One day, sometimes I feel like I'm the only one that's alone, on my own in a crowd of people. Mother, I miss you so much. Father, I long for your touch, but you ain't here. Now I'm alone, so
It's a rock and roll geek train wreck.